My sister-in-law has been married into the family for 3 years. My mother treats her like her own daughter, but treats me like an outsider. At every family gathering, I take the first sip of the soup my sister-in-law brings, testing it for poison. No one forces me, I do it myself. In my past life, at my wedding banquet, my sister-in-law poured me a cup of wedding wine, and I downed it in one gulp. 3 days later, I woke up in the ICU with kidney failure. The first thing my mother said when she rushed into the hospital room was, "Your sister-in-law is pregnant, don't make a scene, don't cause trouble for the family." On the day I died, my sister-in-law wore my wedding dress, smiling as she held onto my groom, reborn into this life. My sister-in-law picks up that cup of wine again, looking at me with a radiant smile. I smile back, then I turn around and hand the wine to my mother. Xiao He, quick, drink this bowl of medicinal soup for your sister-in-law and see if it's too hot. My mother, beaming, holds out the bowl in front of me. The brown medicinal soup in the bowl steams, its strong, bitter, and fishy odor rushing straight into my nose. I looked down at the bowl of soup, then I raised my head and glanced at my sister-in-law Qian Man, who was sitting on the sofa eating melon seeds. She had one leg crossed over the other, her nails painted a bright red, and she was glancing at me out of the corner of her eye, a faint smile playing on her lips. That smile was all too familiar to me. In my previous life, it was with this smile that she gradually sent me to my grave. Mom, this soup is meant to nourish my sister-in-law's health. Why should I drink it? I pushed the bowl back. My mother froze. Qian Man's hand, which was cracking sunflower seeds, also paused for a moment. The entire living room fell silent for 2 seconds. The smile on my mother's face froze, her voice rising by half an octave. Your sister-in-law is newly pregnant, and this medicinal soup was specially sent by your eldest uncle. What if it's too hot and hurts her? What's the big deal about you tasting it? What's the big deal? I put my hands behind my back. Her hands were trembling. Not fear, it's anger. The memories of my past life come flooding back like a dam burst. Testing soup, testing dishes, testing medicine, testing wine. From 16 to 24, I tested for Qian Man for a full 8 years. My mom says this is called the sister-in-law being sensible. My dad says this is called family not distinguishing between you and me. My brother says, Xiaohe is the most well-behaved. The evaluation I earned with my life is simply well-behaved. Mom, my stomach feels off today. I turned and walked towards my own room. Behind me came my mother's incredulous voice. Qing Xiaohe, what kind of attitude is that? Then came Qian Manru's soft and weak voice. Mom, forget it. Don't make it difficult for Xiao He. I'll do it myself. As soon as these words were spoken, my mother's anger reached its peak. Look at how magnanimous your sister-in-law is. What about you? What kind of person are you? I closed the bedroom door, leaning against the door panel. I closed my eyes. In my previous life, every time I heard such words, I would turn around and apologize, then obediently pick up the bowl of soup. This time, I won't. I took out my phone and opened the bank app. Balance 47,623, 80 yuan. This was all the savings I had accumulated from working as a quality inspector at the city's garment factory for 3 years. In my previous life, this money was eventually borrowed by my mother, who said it was for paying my sister-in-law's childbirth expenses. I didn't get a single cent back. I gripped my phone tightly. In this lifetime, no one will ever lay a hand on this money. From outside the door came the voice of my brother, Qing Yuanshan. Xiao He, your sister-in-law is pregnant. As her sister-in-law, you should be more considerate. I didn't open the door. Brother, you take care of your own wife. There was silence outside the door for several seconds, then my brother's tone changed. What's wrong with you lately? Did you eat gunpowder? I didn't answer, because I was reading another message on my phone. It was a text reminder from the City Maternal and Child Health Hospital. The content read, MS, Qing Xiaohe, your physical examination report is ready. Please check it promptly. In my previous life, I ignored this text message, because that day I was busy running errands for my sister-in-law, buying pigeons from the market to make soup. By the time I finally remembered to check the report, it was too late. I stared at the date on the screen. There are 47 days left until I drank that cup of wedding wine at my wedding banquet in my previous life. 47 days, enough. Early the next morning, without informing anyone at home, I went directly to the Municipal Maternity and Child Health Hospital. In my previous life, I delayed for 3 months before going to see this report. The report stated, bilateral ovarian cysts, recommend follow-up examination as soon as possible. Not a major illness, but after delaying for 3 months, coupled with the catalysis of that glass of wine at the wedding banquet, My kidneys completely failed. I spent 11 days in the ICU. My mom came twice. The first time was to bring me clean clothes. The second time was to tell me, your sister-in-law is having a tough pregnancy, so I have to go back and take care of her. You need to be strong on your own. Be strong on your own. I will remember these 5 words until my dying day. Ching Xiaohe, the nurse at the health checkup center, called my name and handed over the report. I took it and looked. As expected, bilateral ovarian cysts. Left side 2 cm, right side 1 cm. What should I pay attention to, doctor? Don't overwork, don't get angry. Just have regular follow-ups. The nurse glanced at me. You look a bit pale. Have you been under a lot of stress lately? I smiled. Stress. In my previous life, my stress came from being used as a human poison tester by my own mother, being poisoned by my sister-in-law, and being pushed in front of the groom by my own brother, who said, my sister is no good, why don't you marry my wife's best friend instead? And the stress in this life, it's that I have to uproot myself from this family within 47 days. After leaving the hospital, I didn't go home, I went to the garment factory. My workstation was on the 3rd floor in the quality inspection workshop. Team leader Sister Li saw me coming and rubbed her hands together as she approached. Xiaohe, there's something I need to tell you about the 2 days you took off. What is it? The factory is going to lay people off. Sister Li lowered her voice. The boss's wife said that after this round of layoffs, only 3 people will be kept in the quality inspection team. My heart sank. In my previous life, I was the one who got laid off, because Qian Man was pregnant. I often took leave to go home and take care of her, being frequently late, leaving early, and taking leave naturally put me at the bottom of the performance rankings on the layoff list. I was at the top. After losing my job, I became a full-time, unpaid housekeeper at home. Sister Li, I won't take any more leave from now on. Sister Li seemed a bit surprised. Didn't you say your sister-in-law is pregnant and needs someone to take care of her? She has her husband. Sister Li opened her mouth, looked at me for several seconds, then gave me a thumbs up. All right, with what you just said, I'll go talk to the boss's wife. At 2 in the afternoon, my mother called. Xiaohe, where did you go today? You were nowhere to be seen in the morning, and your sister-in-law wants to drink pigeon soup. Mom, I'm at work. Just take a leave and come back. The old Lu at the market who sells pigeons only trusts you. Mom, last time I took leave, I got fined 200 yuan. Will you compensate me? The other end of the phone fell silent. 3 seconds later, my mother's voice turned cold. Ching Xiaohe, are you counting money with your own mother? And when have you ever paid back when borrowing money from your own daughter? Click. She hung up. I held my phone and took a deep breath. It's okay. In my past life, I endured words far harsher than these. In this life, I just want to hold on to my own path. When I got off work, my brother Qing Yuanshan was waiting for me at the factory gate. He leaned against a black second-hand Passat, his face gloomy. Xiaohe, what's really been going on with you lately? What's wrong? Do you know you made Mom cry? I watched him. My dear elder brother, tall, strong, with thick eyebrows and big eyes. He runs an auto repair shop in town. Everyone says he is a good man, a good son, and a good husband. No one knows what he did in his past life. No one knew that when I was dying in the ICU, he was in the hallway on the phone with Qian Man, discussing. Xiao, he probably won't make it this time. Why don't you talk to Chen Su and tell him not to wait anymore? Chen Su, my fiancée from my previous life. While I was in the hospital, Qian Man introduced her best friend to him. I'm not completely gone yet, and they're already discussing post-mortem arrangements. I looked at Qing Yuanshan's face. My heart as calm as a still pond. Brother, go back. You, I said. I'm tired from work and want to rest. I walked past him toward the dormitory building at the back of the factory. His voice came from behind. Xiaohe, aren't you having a wedding banquet next month? Man said she'd help you arrange it. My steps halted. Wedding banquet, that glass of wine. I turned around and glanced at him. No need. What? The wedding banquet? I'll handle it myself. I turned and walked into the dormitory building, closing the iron gate. The iron gate made a dull sound behind me, like the sound of a coffin lid closing. In my previous life, it was this sound that sent me off. In this life, I will make sure those who belong in a coffin go where they should. For the next 3 days, I went to work as usual, clocked in normally, and ate at the cafeteria as usual. Qian Man sent me 6 WeChat messages. The first one, Xiaohe, Mom made your favorite sweet and sour pork ribs. Come back and eat. The second one, Xiaohe, are you mad at me? Can we talk face to face about whatever's on your mind? The third one, I'm really struggling with this pregnancy. Your brother doesn't know how to take care of people, I had no choice but to ask you for help. Xiao He, you're not replying. Mom is worried about you. The sixth voice message. I clicked to listen. Qian Man's voice was choked with tears. Xiao He, I don't know what I did wrong. Can you tell me? I put down my phone. In my past life, I would have softened every time she cried. I felt like someone was choking me, making it hard to breathe, thinking it was my fault for being immature and too petty this life. I clicked on her profile picture and glanced at her social media feed. The latest post was from yesterday. My husband's noodles, though burnt, have the taste of love. The accompanying photo was of a bowl of dark, mushy noodles. The first comment below was from someone named Chen Su, sister-in-law. You've worked hard. Brother Yuan Shan is unreliable. I'll teach him how to cook later. Chen Su, it's this person. My fiancé from my previous life. In my previous life, Qian Man introduced me to Chen Su through the relationship of the sister-in-law and the wife of the brother-in-law's friend. I thought she was really good to me at the time. Before getting married, I held her hand and said, "Sister-in-law, thank you." She smiled and said, "We're family, no need for formalities." A family, would a family member really add something to my wedding wine at my wedding banquet? Would a family encourage my fiancé to find someone else while I'm lying in the ICU? Would a family put on my wedding dress after I die and smile for a photo with my groom? I stared at Chen Su's comment for a full minute, then I exited the Moments feed. Time to get down to business. On the afternoon of the fourth day, I went to the town's legal aid center. I was greeted by a young female lawyer wearing glasses, surnamed Fong, named Fong Iran. Lawyer Fong, I'd like to ask about something. You say, if my family took my money under the guise of borrowing, and never returned it, can I get it back? Lawyer Fong adjusted his glasses. Do you have a transfer record? Yes. Do you have an IOU? No. But in the WeChat chat history, my mom said, I'll borrow it from you first and pay you back later. Attorney Fong nodded. That can serve as evidence. How much is the amount? Over 2 years. It adds up to 36,000. Attorney Fong glanced at me. I knew exactly what she was thinking. 36,000 might not seem like much in a big city, but for me, it was what I earned after standing on the assembly line for 2 full years, working 11 hours a day. There's one more thing. I hesitated. You say, if someone adds something harmful to food or drinks, causing health issues for the other person, what would that be considered? Fong's expression changed. You mean, poisoning? I mean hypothetically. Fong stared at me for several seconds. Qing Xiaohe, if you're in danger, you can call the police directly. I'm not in danger. I smiled. I just wanted to get some information in advance. Lawyer Fong was silent for a moment, then took a business card from the drawer. This is my personal number. Contact me anytime if anything comes up. I took the business card and tucked it into the innermost compartment of my wallet. In my previous life, when I died, no one spoke a word for me. In this life, I at least want to have someone by my side, even if it's just a lawyer I've just met. After leaving the legal aid center, I bought a jianbing, Chinese crepe, from a street vendor and ate it while squatting on the curb. The phone rings. It was Chen Su calling. I answered the call. Xiao He, are you free next weekend? Let's go try on wedding dresses, shall we? Your sister-in-law recommended a place. Chen Su, there's no rush about the wedding dress. How can we not be in a hurry? The wedding is only a month away. I want to postpone the wedding. The other end of the phone fell silent. After several seconds, Chen Su's voice was a bit tense. Why? There's something wrong with my health, and I want to get it checked out first. What's the problem? Is it serious? His tone sounded genuinely concerned. In my previous life, I would have felt warmth. In this life, I just want to see how long his concern will last. It's not serious, just need to rest. Then, take good care of yourself, and let me know if you need anything. After hanging up the phone, I finished the last bite of the pancake, wiped my mouth. Then I sent a WeChat message to Lawyer Fong. Lawyer Fong, how do I go about prenuptial property notarization? 3 seconds later, the reply came, just bring your ID and property proof to the notary office. Do you need me to accompany you? Yes, I do. Good. The decision to postpone the wedding caused an uproar in my family. That evening, my mom, my dad, my brother, and my sister-in-law sat neatly in the living room, as if holding a struggle session. I stood at the doorway, my backpack still on. Sit down. My dad slapped the coffee table. The peanut shells on the coffee table jumped. I didn't sit down. Xiao He, are you crazy? My mother's eyes were red. The banquet is booked, and the invitations are printed. You can't just postpone it like that. Yes, Xiao He, Qian Man said softly from the corner of the sofa. It would be difficult to explain to Chen Su too. I glanced at her. She lowered her head and gently touched her stomach, looking indifferent to the world. I've seen this move countless times in my past life. Every time she touches her stomach, everyone's attention turns to her. Everyone will think, the pregnant woman comes first. Everyone else's matters are trivial. I'm not feeling well. I need to get treatment first. What's the illness? My dad frowned. Ovarian cyst. My mom paused for a moment, then waved her hand. What's the big deal? Many women have it, and it doesn't affect having children. Doesn't affect having children. This is what she cares about most, not, what illness does the daughter have, but, will it affect having children? Mom, the doctor said she needs to recuperate and can't overwork, then marry him and let Chin-Su take care of you. My mom seemed to have an epiphany, slapping her thigh. Once you're married, someone will look after you. Mom, I interrupted her, my voice calm. I want to ask you something. What? When are you going to pay back the 12,000 you borrowed from me last time? The living room fell silent instantly. My father's expression changed. My brother's gaze wandered. Chien Man lowered her head and continued to rub her stomach. My mother's mouth opened, closed, and then opened again. You child. What money are we talking about in a family? There's also 8,000 from the year before last, and 16,000 from the year before that. That adds up to 36,000. Ching Xiaohe. My dad suddenly stood up. Dad, sit down. You asked your mom for money. Are you even human? You borrowed the money from me. And now I'm asking for it back. It's not my fault. Dad, I have the transfer records. I took out my phone, and there's also the chat where Mom said, borrow it from you first. Lawyer Fong said these can all be used as evidence. Lawyer Fong, evidence. These two words were like two nails, driven into the air of the living room. My mother's face alternated between red and white. You want to sue your own mother. You want to sue your own mother. I didn't say I wanted to sue. I put my phone away. I just want my money back. 36,000, not a penny more. There was silence for about 10 seconds. Chien Man spoke up. Her voice was still soft, carrying just the right amount of hesitation. Xiaohe, that money, actually, part of it was for my prenatal checkups. You agreed to it at the time. I looked at her. She met my gaze, her eyes flashing with something all too familiar to me. Testing. She is testing my limits. Sister-in-law, I said with a smile. The prenatal checkup fees should be covered by you and my brother. If you're financially struggling, you can apply for maternity subsidies. There are free programs at the town health center. Chien Man's smile stiffened for a moment. A moment is enough. I turned and went back to my room. Before closing the door, I heard my mother wailing loudly in the living room. How could I have raised such an ungrateful child? I closed the door. I turned the lock. Sit on the bed and open the hidden compartment of the bedside table. Inside is an envelope. Inside the envelope is something I desperately tried to obtain in my previous life but never had the chance to get. The property deed, not my family's property certificate. It's the rental contract for this rental house. In my previous life, I always lived at home, ate at home, and handed my salary over to my family. In this life, 2 months ago, I secretly rented a small single room near the factory. The landlady, surnamed Wang, is very kind, and the monthly rent is 450. I fished out a notebook from under my pillow. It had my plan written on it. Step 1, retrieve the 36,000. In progress. Step 2, premarital property notarization. Tomorrow. Step 3, investigate the wine at the wedding banquet. In 43 days. Step 4, move out, anytime. Step 5, I stared at the blank space after Step 5. In my previous life, I never had the chance to write Step 5. In this life, I will definitely finish it. The next day, Lawyer Fong accompanied me to the notary office. The process is quite simple. I printed out my deposit certificate and salary statement, and the notary stamped them. Attorney Fong reviewed the materials for me and suddenly looked up to ask, Xiaohe, does your fiancé know you're doing this? He doesn't know. Are you going to tell him? It depends. Attorney Fong looked at me for a moment and didn't ask further. After leaving the notary office, she treated me to a cup of milk tea. Xiaohe, I'm going to ask an extra question. How is the foundation of your relationship with your fiancé? I took a sip of my milk tea and thought about it. Chen-Su, he's ambitious, hardworking, and he treats me well, but he has a problem. What? He listens too much to my sister-in-law. Attorney Fong frowned. I told her that Chen-Su was introduced to me by Chien Man. Chen-Su's sister and Chien Man were college roommates. In other words, from the very beginning, the relationship between Chen-Su and Chien Man was closer than mine with Chen-Su. This was something I had never realized in my previous life. It wasn't until I was lying in the ICU that I overheard a nurse outside the door saying, That young man surnamed Chen didn't come again today, but that pregnant woman comes every day, though she never goes in to see the patient. She just makes phone calls in the hallway. Making phone calls to whom? What is being typed? I only figured it out on my deathbed. Mr. Fong, if I discover something off before the wedding banquet, can you help me? Mr. Fong set down his milk tea cup and looked at me seriously. What do you mean by not right? I can't pinpoint it, but I have a gut feeling. This wedding of mine, it won't go smoothly. Lawyer Fong was silent for a few seconds. Xiao He, trust your intuition. A woman's intuition is usually right. I smiled. Indeed, I didn't trust my instincts in my previous life, and that's how I died. After leaving the milk tea shop, I waited for the bus by the roadside. A message suddenly popped up on my moments. It was from Chen Su. It's a photo of him with a girl. I know the girl, Qian Man's best friend, Su Xiaoman. The caption reads, "What a coincidence. Ran into Sister Xiaoman at the mall. She helped me pick out a tie, saying it's for the wedding day." Qian Man's comment below, "Ha ha ha, Xiaoman has excellent taste." Su Xiaoman replied to Qian Man, "For our Xiaoha's wedding, we have to put in the effort." I stared at this group photo. In the photo, Chen Su was smiling with his eyes curved. Su Xiaoman stood beside him, her hands still resting on his arm. In my previous life, it was this Su Xiaoman. After I was admitted to the ICU, before I took my last breath, she married Chen Su. The bus is here. I got on the bus and found a seat by the window. The streetscape outside the window receded. I sent a message to Lawyer Fong. "Lawyer Fong, I want to investigate someone." Su Xiaoman, female, 26 years old, currently works at a beauty salon in the city. I need to know the true relationship between her and my fiancé. Attorney Fong replied after a moment. "I know a reliable private investigation agency. Would you like me to contact them?" "For you, how much does it cost?" "Basic investigation costs around 3,000. 3,000, I gritted my teeth. "Let's get in touch." As the bus passed through an intersection, my phone rang again. It was an unfamiliar number. I answered the call. "Hello, is this Qing Xiaohe?" "Yes, I'm Dr. Lin from the City Maternal and Child Health Hospital. Your follow-up results are in, and one indicator is not quite normal. I suggest you come in as soon as possible." "Which indicator?" "It's not very convenient to discuss over the phone. Can you come tomorrow?" "Yes." After hanging up the phone, I looked out the window. It's getting dark. The streetlights lit up one by one, casting a dim yellow glow on the road. In my previous life, at this time, I was at home making pigeon soup for Qian Man. In this life, at this time, I was on the bus, paving the way for my own future. The time on the phone screen, 18:47, 42 days until the wedding banquet. The next morning, I went to the maternal and child health hospital of the city. Dr. Lin is a woman in her 50s with graying hair, speaking directly and to the point. "One of your indicators in the urine test is high, the creatinine value." "What do you mean?" "Your kidney function shows a slight abnormality." She looked at the lab report. "It's currently within the critical range, not severe, but you have a pre-existing issue with ovarian cysts. If that's compounded by factors that increase kidney stress, such as medication stimulation, excessive fatigue, or exposure to certain harmful substances." She looked up at me. "The consequences could be quite serious." "Harmful substances?" My heart rate suddenly accelerated. "Dr. Lin, what kind of harmful substances can cause acute deterioration of kidney function?" Dr. Lin glanced at me, as if finding the question a bit odd. "Many. The most common is drug overdose, such as aristolochic acid found in some traditional Chinese medicines, or supplements with excessive heavy metals, and there are others." "What is commonly encountered in daily life?" "Well, like industrial alcohol, methanol, some unregulated beauty products may contain heavy metals like mercury and lead." "Beauty products." Su Xiaoman, beauty salon. Something clicked in my mind. The wine at the wedding banquet in my previous life was handed to me by Qian Man, but the wine was brought by Su Xiaoman. She said it was a specialty liquor from out of town, with a low alcohol content, suitable for girls to drink. I downed it in one gulp. Dr. Lin, if someone has been ingesting trace amounts of something containing heavy metals for a long time, what kind of reaction would their body have? Dr. Lin's expression completely changed. "Qing Xiaohe, do you suspect that someone might have given you something?" "I'm not sure. Let's do a heavy metal test." Dr. Lin immediately wrote out the order. "Just a blood draw. Results in 2 days." I rolled up my sleeve. When the needle went in, I watched the dark red blood flow into the test tube. In my previous life, I died in the ICU. The cause of death was acute renal failure. My mother cried in the hallway, saying, My daughter has bad luck, my brother said to Qian Man on the phone, you handle the aftermath. Chen Su never showed up from start to finish and Qian Man, on the 7th day after my death, wearing my wedding dress, in the hotel where my wedding should have been held, attended the wedding of Su Xiaoman and Chen Su as the witness to the marriage. She smiled more happily than anyone else. The 7th day after my death, just after leaving the hospital, someone from the investigation agency called me. Miss Cheng, we have preliminary results regarding the Su Xiaoman you wanted us to investigate. Say, Su Xiaoman and your fiancé Chen Su have known each other for half a year, not through your sister-in-law's introduction. They met at a car enthusiasts gathering. Your sister-in-law only later helped rationalize this relationship. I clenched my phone tightly, and then, Su Xiaoman has a credit card under her name, with Chen Su as the secondary cardholder. The card was opened 8 months ago. 8 months ago, Chen Su and I have been together for a year. That means, 4 months into our relationship, he was already supporting another woman and Qian Man was fully aware of it. Not only was she aware, but she also helped cover for them. She even placed Su Xiaoman into my life under the guise of being a close friend. Why, in my previous life, I never figured out this question even when I died, but in this life, I understood it in just 3 seconds, because Qian Man needed a reason to make me disappear from this family. When I was alive, I was the daughter of the Qing family. The portion of the inheritance that was mine, though not much, was rightfully mine. I am dead. Everything else went to my brother and his wife, including my wedding house. That wedding house had a down payment from my parents, but it was under my name. From the day Qian Man entered the door, what she set her sights on wasn't my mother's soup or my father's tea. What she was after was the 48 square meter 2-bedroom apartment under my name. I stood at the hospital entrance, the sunlight hitting my face, warm, but I was freezing all over. The phone rings. It was Qian Man's WeChat. Xiao He, are you coming home for dinner tonight? I made spare rib soup. I stared at this message, then typed 2 words. Got it. It's time to go back, but this time, it's not for soup. At 6:30 p.m., I arrived home on time. As soon as I entered the door, the aroma of pork rib soup filled the entire room. Qian Man, wearing an apron and with a 3-month pregnant belly, peeked out from the kitchen. Xiaohe is back. Go wash your hands. Dinner will be ready soon. My mother sat in the living room, saw my expressionless face, snorted, and turned her head away. My dad was smoking on the balcony and ignored me. My brother isn't here. Where's my brother? He went to stock up and will be back later. Qian Man came out with a bowl of soup and placed it on the table. Come on, come on. Drink it while it's hot. She first served a bowl for my mother, then she served a bowl for herself. Finally, she served a bowl for me. I noticed, when she served the soup for me, she stirred the pot with the ladle a couple more times. In my past life, I wouldn't have paid attention to such details. Sister-in-law, you drink first, I said with a smile, pushing the bowl toward her. You're pregnant, so you need to keep up your nutrition. Qian Man was taken aback for a moment. I've already served myself. You can just drink your own bowl. I want to trade with you. I noticed you have more ribs in your bowl, I said with a smile. I'm on a diet, so I need to eat less meat. Qian Man's eyes flickered. Very soon, if I hadn't been deliberately observing, I wouldn't have noticed at all. Well, all right then. She swapped bowls with me. I watched her hesitate for 2 seconds before picking up the bowl and taking a sip. Then she put down the bowl and smiled. It tastes good, doesn't it? Yeah, it's pretty good. I took a sip too. From her original bowl, the taste of the soup was normal. Pork ribs, corn, carrots, no abnormalities. It seems she's not foolish enough to tamper with every meal. That glass of wine is her trump card. One-time use, deadly, appearing completely harmless. After finishing the meal, I helped clear the dishes. Qian Man wiped the table and suddenly said softly, Xiao He, have you been feeling a bit down lately? Not really. Is it because of the wedding? Well, a little bit. Are you and Chen Su doing okay? I put down the rag and turned to look at her. Sister-in-law, why are you asking about that? She smiled, the curve of her eyes identical to that of her previous life. I just care about you, that's all. Oh, by the way, Xiaoman said she wants to do your makeup and styling for the wedding day. Her beauty salon has really great techniques. No need, I found my own makeup artist. Qian Man's smile stiffened for half a second, but Xiaoman has already prepared everything, and she even, sister-in-law, I interrupted her, my tone calm. This is my wedding, and I will make the decisions myself. The kitchen fell silent. The faucet dripped steadily. Qian Man looked at me, the curve of her mouth slowly fading. All right, then you can make your own arrangements. She took off her apron and turned to leave the kitchen. When she reached the living room door, she paused for a moment. I didn't look back. Xiao-He, you've changed a lot lately. Really? You weren't like this before. The old me is dead. I said it very softly, but I knew she heard it, because her back stiffened slightly. Then she continued to walk out. The investigation results came out on the third day. The investigator was a middle-aged man who handed me a brown paper bag at a fast food restaurant. I opened it and looked inside. There were 3 things inside. The first item: screenshots of the WeChat chat history between Chen Su and Su Xiaoman, partial. The second item: the spending details of the supplementary card under Su Xiaoman's name. The third item: a photograph. In the photo, Chen Su and Su Xiaoman stand in front of a hotel entrance. I recognize the name of the hotel. It's the Hanting Hotel in the city. Shooting date: the 15th of last month. On the 15th of last month, Chen Su told me he was going on a business trip to a construction site in the neighboring city. I flipped through the chat history screenshots. Most of it was flirtatious daily conversations, but there was one part that made my fingers turn cold instantly. Su Xiaoman, baby, when will she finish over there? Chen Su, sister man said it'll be soon. It can be done at the wedding banquet. Su Xiaoman, really? Is that thing reliable? Chen Su, sister man said it's absolutely fine. She's tried it. Su Xiaoman, then I'm relieved. Once she's gone, does the house go to you? Chen Su, yes. I've already taken care of things with the mother-in-law. Once she's gone, the house is yours. Mother-in-law has taken care of everything. I sat on the plastic chair in the fast food restaurant, tightening my fingers one by one. It wasn't my hands trembling, it was my whole body shaking. Not fear, it's a bone-chilling clarity that seeps through every fiber. Everything from my past life, my mother borrowing money, Qian Man's gentleness, Chen Su's honesty, Su Xiaoman's enthusiasm, was all a setup, a game with my life as the stake. And my own mother, I've already taken care of things on the mother-in-law's side. She knew from start to finish. I closed my eyes, take a deep breath. 1, 2, 3, then I opened my phone and sent a voice message to Lawyer Fong. Lawyer Fong, I have evidence. I need you to help me with something. What is it? I want to cancel the wedding. Good. And then, I want to transfer the house under my name into an account that only I can access. No problem. One last thing. You say, I need you to contact the police for me. There was a 2-second silence on the other end of the line. Xiao-He, are you sure? Sure. Is the chain of evidence sufficient? I look at the contents inside the craft paper bag: chat logs, spending details, hotel photos, plus my medical examination report, that lab slip showing elevated creatinine levels, plus Dr. Lin's professional assessment, in addition to the heavy metal test report. It will be ready in 2 days. Almost there. Let's wait for the report to come out before taking action. Good. I hung up the phone. Secure the brown paper bag. When I left the fast food restaurant, it was already completely dark. Under the streetlight, there was a cat squatting next to the trash can, tilting its head to look at me. I crouched down and stroked its head. You know, I whispered, when I died in my previous life, no one came to claim my body. It was the funeral home staff who came to take it away. My mother was busy taking care of my sister-in-law. My brother was busy discussing the house with Chen Su. The cat meowed. In this lifetime, I stood up. I will personally bring about my own end. The heavy metal test report is out. The result is excessive mercury content, not a lethal dose. However, Dr. Lin stated that if ingested over a prolonged period, combined with pre-existing kidney issues, it could lead to chronic mercury poisoning. Have you come into contact with any special cosmetics or skincare products recently? Yes, I said. My sister-in-law gave me a set of skincare products. She said her best friend got them from a beauty salon at an employee discount, so they were very cheap. Dr. Lin's expression darkened. Bring the items over, I'll send them for testing. I've been using that skincare set all along. Water, lotion, cream, a 3-piece set. The packaging is very plain, with no brand logo, just a line of small text, exclusively supplied by XX Beauty and Wellness Center, Su Xiaoman's beauty salon. I had already brought this set of things out of the house and locked it in the drawer of my rental room. Now, I handed it over to Dr. Lin. 2 days later, the test results came out. The mercury content in the face cream exceeds the standard by 37 times. Dr. Lin's voice was cold. 37 times. This is no longer a matter of inferior products. This is intentional addition. I stared at the numbers on the report, very calm, because I've already died once in my previous life. All the things I should fear, I've already experienced. Dr. Lin, Can this report be used as legal evidence? Of course, I'll help you. Draft a medical appraisal opinion, clearly stating the cause and effect relationship. Thank you, Xiaohe. Dr. Lin called out to me. Do you have any family? I was taken aback. Yes, then why haven't you told them? I smiled. Because those who want to harm me are my own family. Dr. Lin did not speak again. She took off her glasses and rubbed her eyes, then she put them back on and signed her name on the appraisal report. If you need me to testify in court, just let me know. I nodded. After leaving the hospital, I called Lawyer Fong. The evidence is sufficient. Good. I've arranged a meeting with Captain Zhang from the District Criminal Police Team tomorrow at 2 p.m. Good. Xiaohe. Don't come home tonight. I know. I hung up the phone and went to the rental house. Grandma Wang was picking vegetables downstairs and smiled when she saw me. Xiaohe, back home. Have you eaten? Yes, I have. Thank you, Grandma Wang. Oh, your older brother came to look for you. This afternoon, I froze. My brother, tall and big, said he was looking for his sister. I told him you don't live here, but he didn't believe me. He wandered around downstairs for a while before leaving. My heart sank. Qing Yuanshan had found his way here. How did he know? I went upstairs, entered the room, and checked the door lock. Then I wrapped the craft paper bag and all the evidence materials in a plastic bag and stuffed them into the suitcase under the bed. The suitcase had a combination lock. After doing all this, I sat on the bed for a while. My phone vibrated. Qian Man's WeChat. Xiaohe, come home for lunch tomorrow noon. Xiao Man is also coming. Let's all get together and discuss your wedding. It's been a long time since we last gathered. I stared at this message. It's been a long time since we last gathered at the wedding banquet in my previous life. It was also this kind of warm and lively atmosphere. Everyone was laughing, toasting, and offering blessings when Qian Man walked up to me holding that cup of specialty wine. Her eyes were sparkling. Xiaohe, your sister-in-law offers you a toast. May you and Chen Su grow old together. I downed it in one gulp. 3 days later, ICU. 7 days later, death. 14 days later, Su Xiaoman and Chen Su got their marriage certificate, my wedding dress, my bridal chamber, my savings, my life, all were divided clean. I put down my phone. I replied to Qian Man, okay, sister-in-law, I'll go. Then I turned off the light. There was a moon outside the window. It's very bright. I recall the last scene before my death in my previous life. The cold fluorescent lights on the ICU ceiling. In this life, I want everyone to see a different kind of light. At the police station, the next afternoon at 2 o'clock, Lawyer Fong accompanied me to the District Criminal Police Team. Captain Zhang, in his early 40s, was a composed middle-aged man. After listening to my account and reviewing all the evidence I provided, 1. Screenshots of the chat records between Chen Su and Su Xiaoman. 2. Detailed transaction records of the supplementary card under Su Xiaoman's name. 3. Hotel photos. 4. Test report of the mercury-containing face cream. 5. My heavy metal blood test report. 6. Medical evaluation report from Dr. Lin. 7. Traceability of the face cream source. Su Xiaoman's beauty salon. Captain Zhang looked up after reviewing everything. Qing Xiaohe, are you saying, your sister-in-law Qian Man and this Su Xiaoman, together with your fiancé Chen Su, planned to poison you at your wedding banquet with the aim of seizing the property under your name? Yes, but the wedding banquet hasn't taken place yet. That is to say, the poisoning hasn't occurred. The poisoning has already happened. Attorney Fong interjected. The mercury-containing face cream has caused my client to suffer from chronic mercury poisoning, which already constitutes the completed offense of intentional harm. Captain Zhang nodded. We can definitely file a case regarding the face cream, but about the wedding banquet, how do you know they would tamper with the drinks? I fell silent for 2 seconds. I couldn't exactly say, because I've been reborn. Captain Zhang, the chat records make it very clear. We can handle it at the wedding banquet. Is that thing reliable? Sister Man said she's tried it. These statements point to carrying out some kind of action at the wedding banquet, considering their history of poisoning the face cream. I have reasonable grounds to believe they would tamper with the drinks. Attorney Fong added, we can request the police to set up surveillance on the day of the wedding banquet. If they actually take action and are caught on the spot, it would be a clear case of an ongoing crime. Captain Zhang pondered for a long time. Are you sure you want to do this? Sure. The other party includes your sister-in-law and your fiancé. Once the case is filed, your family relationships, Captain Zhang, I interrupted him. They want my life. Captain Zhang looked at me for a long time, then he nodded. All right, we'll file a case for poisoning with the face cream first, and at the same time, we'll set up surveillance at the wedding banquet, go back and act as usual, don't alert the snake, understood. Stepping out of the police station, the sunlight fell on my face. Lawyer Fong walked beside me and suddenly said, "Xiao He, you're really calm, because I've died once already." She turned her head to look at me. I smiled and said, "Just kidding," but I wasn't joking. In the days that followed, I put on a perfect act. I went home, I apologized to my mom, I told her I had been under a lot of pressure lately and said things I shouldn't have. My mother cried and held my hand, saying, "Mom knows you're working hard, but we need to keep the family harmonious." I said, Qian Man was smiling like a flower beside us. I smiled at her too. I resumed normal contact with Chen Su. I accompanied him to try on wedding dresses over the weekend. Su Xiaoman also came. When she helped me adjust the hem of the dress, her fingers lingered on my waist for a moment. "Xiao He, you've lost a lot of weight recently." "Really? Maybe it's because of being busy. Take care of your health," she said with a smile. I smiled too. "Don't worry, my health is much better than you imagine, because of that box of cream. I stopped using it 3 weeks ago. Dr. Lin prescribed me mercury-removing medication. The mercury levels in my body are gradually decreasing. The wedding banquet is drawing closer." Qian Man began energetically helping me with the preparations, choosing the banquet, deciding on floral arrangements, and arranging the seating chart. Whatever she did, I always said it was good, but secretly, I did a few things. First, I went to the housing bureau to change the property ownership, changing the co-owners of the marital home from Qing Xiaohe, Qing Yuanshan, to only Qing Xiaohe. When my parents bought the house, they used my brother's provident fund loan to save money, so they added my brother's name, but the down payment was made by them, and my name was written on it. The property certificate has 2 names on it. Lawyer Fong helped me clarify the legal relationship. The ownership of this house is 70% mine and 30% my brother's. I won't touch his 30%, but my 70%. I will have a notarized mortgage to ensure that no one, including me if I die, can transfer the property without my authorization. Second, I changed the passwords for all my bank cards. Third, I wrote a will. Lawyer Fong accompanied me to do it. The will was very clear. If anything happened to me, all my assets would be donated to the City Women and Children's Relief Foundation. Not a single penny would go to any member of the Qing family. After completing these, there were still 7 days left until the wedding banquet. Qian Man sent me a WeChat message asking, "Xiao He, have you decided on the wine for the wedding banquet?" Xiao Man mentioned she knows a channel where we can get imported red wine at a very good price. Imported red wine, here it comes. "Sure, sister-in-law, let Xiao Man handle it then." "Great, just get ready to be the most beautiful bride." I look at this message with a calm expression. The most beautiful bride. In my past life, I was indeed the most beautiful bride. It's a pity no one remembers, because the bride was poisoned on the wedding day. In this life, the poisoned one will not be me on the wedding day. The hotel is the town's largest, Jinyuan Grand Hotel, with 20 tables set up in the banquet hall on the 3rd floor. I sat in the makeup room, and the makeup artist was applying makeup on me. In the mirror, I was wearing a white wedding dress and a tiara adorned with rhinestones. Is it beautiful? Nice. That was the same look in my previous life, except in my previous life, this wedding dress ended up being worn by Su Xiaoman. The door was pushed open. Qian Man walked in with a bulging belly, holding a red gift bag in her hand. "Xiao He, the bride is so beautiful." She smiled as she pulled a bottle of wine from the gift bag. The dark glass bottle with its golden label did indeed look like an imported product. Xiao Man specifically brought it, saying we should drink the first toast with it at the wedding banquet for good luck. She placed the wine on the dressing table. I looked at that bottle of wine. In my previous life, I drank this very bottle of wine. "Sister-in-law, thank you." I smiled. "Family doesn't speak in 2 tongues." She said this sentence again, exactly the same, even the tone remained the same. After she left, I took out my phone. I sent a text message to Captain Zhang. "The item has been delivered. Dark glass bottle, gold label, currently on the makeup table in the 3rd floor dressing room." 10 seconds later, reply, received. Undercover officers are in position. At 5:30 in the afternoon, the wedding banquet officially began. The banquet hall was adorned with lights and decorations, filled to the brim with relatives and friends. I held my father's arm and walked down the red carpet. On the other side, Chen Su stood under the floral arch, dressed in a black suit. He smiled radiantly. He looked like a perfect groom. In my previous life, when I approached him, my heart was filled with happiness. In this lifetime, there is only one countdown in my heart. The host spoke a string of auspicious words, then came the part where they exchanged cups of Wine? Qian Man stepped out from the crowd, holding 2 glasses of red wine. That's the bottle of wine, she has already poured it for us. Come on, the bride and groom drink the wedding toast. She handed the 2 glasses of wine to me and Chen Su respectively. I took the wine glass. The wine gleamed a dark red under the light. I glanced at Qian Man. She smiled, laughing as if from a past life, gentle, harmless, considerate, sister-in-law. I suddenly spoke up. Taste this drink for me, will you? The entire room fell silent for a moment. Qian Man's smile remained unchanged, but a flicker of light flashed in her eyes. Haha, this is a cross-cupped wine toast. How could we let someone else drink first? Then let Xiao Man do it. I turned to look at Su Xiao Man in the crowd. Xiao Man, since you brought this wine, why don't you taste it first and let everyone know how it is? Su Xiao Man was chatting with the person next to her, hearing me call her. The smile on her face froze. I don't drink. You don't drink, I said with a smile. Then why did you recommend this wine to us? The banquet hall began to buzz with murmurs. Chen Su tugged at my sleeve beside me. Xiaohe, don't make a scene. I'm not making a scene. I raised my glass and faced all the guests. Dear uncles, aunts, brothers, and sisters, today is a very special day for me, and I would like everyone here to be my witness. I turned to look at Qian Man, sister-in-law. You've been part of our family for 3 years now. And my mother always says you're even closer to her than a real daughter. You've helped me plan the wedding, chosen the wine, and introduced me to my fiancé. I paused for a moment. You're so good to me, so good that I feel I don't deserve to drink this glass of wine alone. I handed the wine glass to her. Come on, sister-in-law, let's drink together. Qian Man's expression finally changed, not an instantaneous change, but like a mask peeling off piece by piece. First, the smile freezes, then the corner of the mouth twitches, then her eyes changed from gentle to terrified. Xiaohe, what do you mean by this? It means nothing, I said with a smile. You said that family doesn't speak 2 different languages, right? Family wine should be shared together. The banquet hall grew increasingly quiet. Everyone is looking at us. My mother couldn't sit still at the first table and stood up. Xiaohe, what are you doing, on such a happy day? Mom, I turned to look at her. Sit down. My tone was calm, but my mother was pinned down by something, really sitting down. Perhaps it was because of my gaze. It wasn't the look of a daughter looking at her mother, that is the gaze of someone who has died once, looking at the person who personally pushed them into the grave. Chen Su, I turned to look at my groom. His face had already turned pale. Will you drink this glass of wine? Xiaohe, what's wrong with you? I'm asking you, are you going to drink it or not? He swallowed hard, no answer. He didn't dare to drink, because he knew what was in the wine. At that moment, the banquet hall door was pushed open. Captain Zhang walked in with 4 plainclothes officers. Behind them followed 2 inspectors in white coats. Excuse me, everyone. Captain Zhang showed his credentials. We've received a report and need to conduct a test on the alcohol at the wedding banquet. The entire room erupted in an uproar. Qian Man's face turned pale instantly. Su Xiaoman stood up from her seat and turned to head towards the back door. A plainclothes officer stopped her. Su Xiaoman, please cooperate with the investigation. I don't know what you're talking about. The skincare products sold by the beauty salon under your name contain heavy metals that exceed the standard by a significant margin. Additionally, we have reason to suspect that harmful substances have been added to the alcoholic beverages you're carrying. Su Xiaoman's legs went weak. She slumped into the chair all at once. The inspector took the 2 glasses of wine and began conducting a rapid test on the spot. 5 minutes later, the inspector looked up and said something to Captain Zhang. The words were not loud, but the entire banquet hall heard it. Methanol, 80 times over the limit, 80 times, enough to cause kidney failure in an adult. If that person already had a foundation of ovarian cysts and chronic mercury poisoning, death was only a matter of time. The banquet hall was in an uproar. Relatives whispered, gasped, and banged the table. My mother slumped in her chair, her face pale. My father stood up and sat down again, his lips trembling, unable to speak. Qing Yuanshan rushed in, saw the police, saw Qian Man being restrained by 2 plainclothes officers, and his eyes instantly reddened. What are you doing? She's pregnant. Qing Yuanshan. Captain Zhang looked at him. Your wife, Qian Man, is suspected of intentional injury. Please cooperate with the investigation. Injured who? Your sister. Qing Xiaohe. Qing Yuanshan was stunned. He turned to look at me. I stood on the red carpet, wearing a white wedding dress, my expression calm. Xiaohe, what are you doing, brother? I looked at him. Do you know what's in the cream your wife gave me? What cream? What stuff? mercury, 37 times the safe limit of mercury. Qing Yuanshan's face froze instantly. Do you know what your wife and Su Xiaoman added to today's drink? Methanol, 80 times the amount. Qing Yuanshan opened his mouth. Not a single word could be uttered. Did you know that your wife and my wonderful fiancé, Chen Su, planned to take over the house under my name after I died? No, it can't be. Man wouldn't. The chat records are in the hands of the police, I said calmly. Go see for yourself. Qianman finally couldn't hold on any longer at this moment. She knelt on the ground, clutching her stomach and crying, I'm pregnant. You can't arrest me. Xiao He, think of the child. I lowered my head to look at her. In her previous life, she had used this belly and this way of crying to make everyone side with her. My mom would say, she's pregnant, don't make things difficult for her. My dad would say, forget it, we're all family. My brother would hold her and say, I'm here, no one can bully you. And then I became the unreasonable sister, the narrow-minded sister-in-law, the deserving unlucky one, this lifetime, sister-in-law. I crouched down, meeting her eyes at the same level. The child in your womb is innocent, but you are not. I stood up, I took off the crown from my head and placed it on the table beside me. Then, I steadily set the glass of wine in my hand, the one containing 80 times the lethal dose of methanol, in front of Qian Man. This cup of wine, returned to its rightful owner. Qian Man looked at the cup of wine, trembling all over. Take her away. Captain Zhang waved his hand. The plainclothes officers lifted Qian Man up from the ground. Su Xiaoman had already been subdued, her head lowered and not speaking. Chen Su, my good fiancé, stood rooted to the spot, his face alternating between pale and ashen. Xiao He, I can explain. No need. I looked at him. Chen Su, when you applied for the supplementary card for Su Xiaoman, we had only been together for 4 months. His face instantly fell. While you were secretly supporting another woman behind my back, you still said, good morning, wife, to me every day. The wedding I planned with you, you planned my funeral with them. You don't deserve an explanation from me. You deserve that. I pointed at the police car behind Captain Zhang. Take him away. The wedding banquet was over. No, it should be said that the wedding banquet turned into a farce, but for me, this was the most perfect ending. When the relatives left, some held my hand and cried, saying, child, you've suffered. Others whispered, saying, the Qing family's daughter-in-law is too vicious. Some looked at me with complicated sympathy. I don't care, I only care about one person's reaction. My mother. She sat motionless at the first table from beginning to end. The guests have all left, and the banquet hall is empty. The waitstaff are clearing the dishes. I walked up to her. Mom. She doesn't look at me. Mom, Chen Su said, everything has been taken care of on the mother-in-law's side. How much money did you take from him? Her body trembled slightly. Mom, do you know they're trying to harm me? She finally lifted her head. Eyes are red, but not the red of sadness. The red of fear. I don't know. I didn't know they would poison. You just what? Chen Su said, that after you get married, he'll handle the house matter, and he'll take care of me and your father in our old age. I thought he just meant selling the house and splitting the money. So you agreed. You sold your daughter's house for your own retirement money. I'm your mother. That house was originally bought by us. You paid the down payment. But I've been paying the mortgage. 2,300 every month, for 3 years. She closed her mouth. Mom, do you know, if I had really drunk that glass of wine today, I would have died. No way. 80 times the methanol. Dr. Lin said that with my physical condition, I'd go into kidney failure in 3 to 5 days. Just like, I almost said, just like in my past life. I swallowed it back. It's not what you think. I won't just be unwell, I will die. My mother's lips trembled, tears streamed down her wrinkles. Xiao He, Mom is sorry for you. I look at her, watched for a long time. Mom, from today onwards, I won't be coming back to this home anymore. I will continue to pay the mortgage on the house, but it's my house. For you and Dad's retirement, you should discuss it with my brother. You're not going to take care of us anymore. Have you ever cared about me? She opened her mouth, speechless. I turned and walked away. Behind me came her intermittent sobs. I didn't look back. In my previous life, I died with attachment and resentment towards this family. In this life, I will live with an explanation for myself. Things happened quickly afterward. Qian Man was criminally detained for intentional injury. Although she was pregnant and granted bail pending trial, the case had entered the judicial process. The evidence of poisoning in the cream was conclusive, and coupled with the methanol wine at the wedding banquet, there was no way for her to escape. Su Xiaoman. as an accomplice, was also charged. Her beauty salon was shut down. Not just the set she sold to me, but several products in her salon were problematic. Chen Su, charged with fraud. The investigation is ongoing. He exploited my trust to deceive me emotionally and financially. Although the house was never obtained, the evidence chain for his and Su Xiaoman's joint actions with Qian Man to inflict harm is complete. Qing Yuanshan came to see me once at the factory gate, just like last time, leaning against that black Passat, but this time, he didn't have his usual arrogant demeanor. He looked much more haggard. Xiao He, brother, man, she really didn't mean it. She might have been instigated by Su Xiaoman. Brother, I interrupted him. The cream was given to me by her, the wine was served to me by her. In the chat records, she said, she tried it. Do you still want to speak up for her? He fell silent. She is your wife, but I am your sister. You have never chosen me. His eyes reddened. Xiao He, brother, go back, think carefully about your future path. I don't hate you, but I won't sacrifice anything for you anymore. I turned and walked into the factory, no turning back. 3 months later, I moved into my own small 2-bedroom apartment, 48 square meters, on the edge of the city. Not big, but it's mine. I paid off a large portion of the mortgage, and I'll slowly pay off the rest month by month. At the factory, Sisterly helped me secure the position of quality inspection team leader. My salary increased by 800. Lawyer Fong became my friend. She said I was the calmest and most clear-headed client she had ever met. I said, that's because I paid for this clarity with my life. She thought I was speaking metaphorically. Dr. Lin helps me with a follow-up checkup every month. The mercury level has returned to normal. The cyst has shrunk by half. You're recovering well, Dr. Lin said with a smile. Don't overwork yourself and take your medicine on time. Good. Stepping out of the hospital, the sunlight fell on his face. It felt warm. This time, it was truly warm. I stood at the hospital entrance, watching the cars come and go on the road. The phone rings. It was a call from Grandma Wang. Xiao He, are you coming back for dinner tonight? I made dumplings, with chives and eggs. Okay, Grandma Wang, I'll buy some vinegar on my way back. No need, I have it here. Come back quickly. I laughed, hung up the phone. I quickened my pace toward the bus stop. I paused for a moment when passing by a newsstand. My face was reflected in the shop window glass. Not particularly beautiful, but the eyes are very bright. A living person's eyes are always bright. I smiled at myself in the glass. Qing Xiaohe, in this lifetime, live only for yourself. After hearing the story above, what are your thoughts? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments section. Looking forward to hearing from you. If you liked this story, don't forget to like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel. See you next time.